Sheet mulching is a really useful technique for getting rid of weeds in large areas of your garden. I've used it extensively because it's cheap, effective and best of all doesn't involve the use of herbicides. Sheet mulching involves putting down layers of cardboard or newspaper and covering with mulch. That way the weeds get smothered and they're denied the light they need to regrow, and in time they'll just rot away. I've used it a lot to convert my weedy paddocks into productive garden beds. But I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I now fine-tune what I do. Firstly, mow or scalp the weeds you want to smother. Next, water the weeds really well and give them a good feed. This promotes new growth, but because it's denied light, that new growth will rot away. If you don't do this properly, the weeds may not die as easily, and if it's drier conditions, you may even need to water. Cover in a good layer of either newspaper or non-wax cardboard, making sure that these layers overlap properly. Be aware of any hole or cutout in the cardboard when sheet mulching, as these can let through weeds. Holes need to be covered by another layer. If you're going to use cardboard, make sure that you remove all the sticky tape, because obviously it's plastic and it doesn't break down. But also, where the sticky tape is, it will stop the layers of cardboard bonding together, and the weeds will take advantage of this and use it as an escape hatch to get away from you. Then, top off with a layer of bark chip mulch, around 3 centimetres deep. Make sure you use enough mulch, otherwise breaks in the layer will form and the weeds will seize the opportunity to make a break for it. They can be very persistent. Now be patient, because the weeds can take up to 6 months to rot away, depending on the type of weeds. If you're over-enthusiastic and trying to plant into this before the weeds have rotted, what you'll find is the weeds will take advantage of the hole that you've dug and they'll simply come out where your new plant is. Similarly, garden art mounted on stakes or fence posts put through the layers will create an escape hatch for the weeds as they puncture through the layers. Once it's done, you need to stay on your guard. Be aware of weeds seeding in from surrounding areas or creeping in, like this kikuyu. Because I didn't stay on top of it, it started to invade the hard-won territory of my sheet mulch bed. As an effective technique, sheet mulching is a great addition to a gardener's repertoire. But to be effective, it takes effort and consistency. However, with a little bit of know-how and some effort, you can turn any patch of weeds into a beautiful garden without the use of herbicide.